Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 8th of May. My name's Phillip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, I think the weather's turning. What do you think?
Turning better or turning worse?
No. I think that this is the first week now that winter is, you can see it coming.
There's a little bit of chill in the air, Phil. A couple of cold winds.
Saturday was a bit gloomy. Sunday, gorgeous. But,
Gorgeous day.
We're into it now and I've seen the forecast for the week. Are you ready for winter?
I'm ready for whatever's coming forward, Philip, whatever's coming at us.
You're that sort of guy, aren't you, Gary?
I am.
You
I'm
were
very
born
adaptable.
ready, weren't you?
I am very adaptable, Philip. And I've got to say that it's sort of like the auction results moved with the weather. Usually there's no, and I don't think it's, of course, it's coincidental, but we had a much better clearance rate on Sunday than we did on Saturday. But overall on the weekend, viewers, 68% clearance against the industry average of 62%, Philip. We've done well with 68%.
Yep.
And certainly some very competitive auctions too out there in the marketplace, Mr. Kingston.
Well, Gary, we had some extraordinary results mixed in amongst some others. So the reality is the market is in...
What were the others?
The market,
Want to talk about those?
The market is in balance at 68% clearance
it
rate.
is in balance.
60 to 70%. We keep saying it's a balanced market.
We've got to just shout out here to Oliver, one of our viewers. I'm not sure if we've had a lot to do with Oliver because I can't recognise his name, but I do love the fact that Oliver's watching GPTV. And Oliver, you're going to love the fact that you've won the scarf.
Well, that's why I did the intro, Oliver, about talking about the cool weather, just to get you all wrapped up in your cashmere scarf.
64%, Oliver, you guessed, it was closest to the pin or nearest to the mark of 62% clearance rate. We had a lot of optimistic viewers that actually they said Gary Peer Associates will get 100%. Thank you for that, for those people that said that.
We should have a scarf for all of those
we should.
people,
We should.
don't.
Well, I think we should have a scarf for Nick because Nick actually told us.
I've got to read this one out, Gary. This
because
is
we've had our auction in York Street, which was very well sold, undisclosed price. But
York Street did sell before auction. That was a sale that was negotiated on Saturday prior to. And we talked about York Street and we wanted to know what that whole story was with the grand old Duke of York who had 10,000 men who marched them up to the top of the hill and then he marched them down again.
What was all that about?
So Nick, thank you very much for saying hi again. So Nick is a regular contributor. York and his troops lost a few battles in bracket mark against the French.
He wasn't very successful, was he?
And retreated his troops. Subsequently, he marched his army back and forth between unimportant battles, which was interpreted into the nursery rhyme "Cheers, Nick."
Thanks.
So essentially, the grand
gold class tickets.
Gold
class tickets for you, Nick. We'll get them sent out.
Essentially, the grand old Duke of York was not much of a military man, and just wanted to keep his troops on the march so that he looked like he was effective.
Just wandering around aimlessly. I know a few real estate agents like that, do you as well? Anyway, amongst other people. But Philip, that was good of Nick, and good to get that community engagement. Thank you. Thanks, Oliver.
I think it's important, Gary, that we use...
Make yourself known to us, Oliver. Come to an auction and say good day.
I think it's important we use this show to actually break down myths and get our viewers to help understand things like nursery rhymes.
Exactly right.
If you've got a question about anything, between our viewership, our database, I think we can solve all the problems.
There's just not enough agents doing enough for nursery rhymes. I'm finding it's a real industry issue at the moment, Philip.
You know a number of agencies, Gary, with low clearance rates could probably look at themselves and maybe if they told some nursery rhymes in the sales meeting, they might kind of inspire or just make their staff happier.
Probably more prone for limericks than nursery rhymes, I would say. But anyway, let's get on to some more sensible things and talk about the market that was, Philip. No doubt some of our viewers will be gripped to the screen wondering what happened at some of our auctions, Philip. And unfortunately, that cool rockin' daddy Ross, we didn't sell his house on the weekend.
Well, Gary, as I said to you last week, you were so over-enthused.
Actually,
I think you overhyped everything.
There's a part of me that's actually quite excited that we haven't sold it yet because we still get to deal with him and his
Ross
lovely
Wilson
family.
is watching this. We're terribly sorry, and we didn't pass it in so that Gary continue his love feast with you.
No. We'll get it sold, Ross. We've got a very, very, very reasonable asking price of $1,725,000. It was lovely to see Olympia Valance there. What a magnificent lady she is.
Not a lovely family.
They were a lovely family, and she's obviously got all this fame going on, but she's a beautiful person, great looking and beautiful person. So lovely to meet her.
You really are a celebrity junkie, aren't you?
Hey, talking about celebrity, what about the girls from the block? They did sell on Saturday afternoon at 7 Willow Street. So congratulations. The price is disclosed at the upper end of our range at $2,000,000. 485,000 over to you.
Very strong result there, Gary. But what an incredible job those two do.
They did.
I mean, they as I said at the auction, from the front fence to the back fence, and
Every
absolutely
detail, Phillip.
everything in
It's so
between was
beautiful.
extraordinary.
Every colour,
extraordinary.
every finish.
Every screw. Like
Yeah.
I was looking at the hinges on the doors, and every
I know what you're
screw,
talking about.
every screw was lined up. I mean, they just know how to pull a house together.
Do you reckon there's many other people around that look at screws like you do?
Well, Gary,
I
think
mean, who looks at a
attention
screw?
to detail is very important, and
unbelievable.
the way to actually work out whether somebody's really got a high attention to detail when it comes to the building industry is you look at the hinges on the door, and a really good tradesperson will line up all of the screws in a row in terms of where they actually wind the screw
That's
to.
a little bit of abnormal
A bit
obsessive
OCD,
behaviour
there's
there.
no question.
Phil, we had an interesting auction on the weekend, not a big number sale, but interesting that we ran with the property with our statement of information.
Yes, we
of
talked about that at the
1,300,000.
sales meeting,
So,
didn't we?
you know, here's a situation, and there's been different people that have had this view that you shouldn't have a range, just have a figure. Get the vendor's reserve, just put that down. And pretty much this is what happened here, Phillip. We sold the property at 43 Crimea Street in Caulfield North, and I had the pleasure of dealing with the vendor. And the vendor was sort of pretty no fuss, said, look, you know, we'll sell for 1.3. You know, you can make that. It wasn't the official reserve, but that was the indication they gave us of the likely selling price. We just put that down on the statement of information, 1.3, and lo and behold, it sold for 1,295,000. Doesn't happen that often, does it, to be so close on price? But an interesting exercise.
So, viewers, the statement of information that you'll find for every property,
the quote price, the equivalent of,
which is part of the legal requirement under Consumer Affairs. So, 99% of those statement of information would have a 10% range, but it is the vendor's opportunity to have a single figure.
That's right.
And that's probably one of the
And this
very
vendor did.
few single figures that
we've
run.
had a few, but anyway, it'd be good to get some viewer feedback on that. If you've got any thoughts
Speaking-
about single figure or range, put them on through to us by email, and we'll share them with all of our other
Speaking
viewers.
of viewer feedback, Gary, I had an auction on the weekend where we passed a property in and we went into negotiation mode, and there was some talk after the auction about what our obligations are to the highest bidder. So I just want
right?
there's a very good friend of Gary Peer and Associates that is a very constant watcher of this show. So a shout out to Svika because he's asked the question: what is the obligation, the legal obligation dealing with the highest bidder? And it is this: when we pass a property into the highest bidder is given the first opportunity to buy the property at the reserve price.
It's not a right to negotiate, it's a right to buy, Phillip, as I understand.
So when we offer the buyer the property at the reserve price, if they pay the reserve price, the property is sold to that buyer without any other further discussion with any other buyer. If they offer us less, which is entirely their right to do so, we also have the opportunity and the right to engage with other buyers. So it's very important, viewers, that you understand this. When we pass into you, you have the first and exclusive right to pay the reserve price. If you choose to negotiate, which is your right to do so, understand that we then have the right to treat with whoever else that we like.
Indeed, Phillip. Good little message there, and that's, I don't think it could be any fairer than that.
Well, I understand, Gary, under the emotion of the day, the highest bidder thinks that their rights go further than that, but that is the reality. Now, we always try to work with the highest bidder, even when they do go into negotiation mode. But we don't just run outside and try and sell it to somebody else.
There are some people that feel that if they don't bid, they'll still get those same rights, and you don't have those exclusive rights. So it's important that you don't, I guess, not to use a crass, you don't outsmart yourself by waiting back while someone else goes inside thinking, oh, the agent's going to have to come out and see me. It's the final bidder that puts themselves in the position of power, to be able to purchase. And the box seat, to use a harness racing term, Phillip.
Phil, is it a harness racing term?
I think
the box seat?
I think it might be.
I suppose it would be.
Well, someone's probably going to tell us that and get some tickets next week. That's what I thought the box seat was. Phillip, we had a fantastic result at Holroyd Avenue. We sold that. Interesting auction. It was passed in at the moment of auction. Of course, both properties sold to the person that, again, did what you're saying, put their hand up and held the final bid.
And the first and exclusive right to buy. Speaking of Holroyd, just a tragic opportunity there for real estate agents. That property was held by the same family for 95 years.
Well, they said to me that they bought the land
Why
in
are you dropping your voice?
Because it's so incredible, Phillip. It's like, you know, it was like on dramatic effect, right? They have said to me that they bought the land in 1919 when it was a dirt road. How about that?
That's
Isn't that
unbelievable.
extraordinary?
So, viewers,
how bad are they for business, for real estate?
Think about this. The average person supposedly sells every 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
So that property has not been
99
sold.
years since they bought land.
It could have been sold almost 10
If not more.
times.
Yeah.
And if that caught on, Gary,
Yeah.
if that caught on,
Might be all over.
90% of real estate agents would have to close their doors.
We'd be back working at the Pancake Parlour, Philip.
Do you know what, Gary?
Some
There
people
was
don't
some-
know that we worked at the Pancake Parlour.
So
We did.
viewers, our first,
Proud of it.
our first part-time jobs after leaving school were at the Pancake Parlour
Yep.
in Market Lane
I got
in
a-
the city, and we had a lovely, lovely time there until we were both sacked.
Yeah, we were unceremoniously sacked
Yeah.
because you overfilled the fireplace, Philip, downstairs.
Smoked out
As a
the
country
entire
boy, you said,
basement.
"Oh, watch this for a fire, mate," and then we got sacked. But I've got to say, the first night, this Pancake Parlour had great salad, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
I said to them, "Look, if I get a salad," and they said, "Yeah, if I go, yeah, it's a discounted rate."
Yeah.
The first time I worked at the Pancake Parlour, Philip, I didn't get a pay, I got a bill because I ate more than my earnings on the salad. It was such
I know,
good salads.
I know.
Anyway, that's another
know.
story. Thanks to the Pancake Parlour.
And
for
the big
employing us
question
and for sacking us.
and that kind of raises the point: should young people working in the hospitality industry,
Yeah.
right, have to pay for the food that they consume?
Well, I paid half. Look,
well,
it's
we
fair.
did pay half, and even then I
Wouldn't
thought that
have
was a
cost
bit
enough.
rough.
I know.
No disrespect to the Pancake Parlour owners. If you happen to be watching this show, you've
Yeah.
got your own rules, and
And you
that's fair
sacked us
enough.
for good reason. All
Yeah.
those fights we had with the dishwasher, there was that squirter for the, and these amazing high-powered
we were
squirter for the
not
plates.
model employees.
Definitely not. Phil, let's move on from the Pancake Parlour, let's move on from the auction results, let's move on from the clearance rate to this weekend's auction. Philip, we have 19 auctions in 11 suburbs, a smorgasbord of offerings through this great month of
so
May.
big, Gary, I think I better put my glasses on.
I think you should, Philip. I love it when you put your glasses on because when we cut away and you don't, all of a sudden people go, "Oh, what happened to him?" It's just something different. Phil, we have triple auction action at 10:30 on Saturday morning. We are starting off in Carlisle Street. We'd love it there. 4 at 60 Carlisle. Jeremy Rosens does the first auction. Tell us about it.
Gary, a picture postcard apartment. I mean, have a look at that lovely lounge room, complete with its open fireplace. This is 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, and of course, you're part of the Carlisle Street groove, where really, who needs a car when you live in a location like that?
Phil, we love that series of movies, those Oceans 11 and Oceans 12. And,
Yes.
And the newest Oceans is all of the women that are taking control of the scam.
that right?
Now. Oh yeah. So rather than the men with the women helping, as has been, the women now lock and they run the whole scam, and a few
Well,
men
they'll
do it.
probably do a far better
They
job.
will for sure. They'll work
Is what's his name still in it?
George Clooney,
George
Brad Pitt, I think all those guys are in- I think
so
they're
they're
all
getting the
there.
band back together. Who
I
was the
think so.
third?
I
The
can't
third
remember,
was
there's a few
the
other
guy that plays Jason Bourne in the Bourne
Oh, was he?
Identity.
Okay, that
Yep.
guy's, Mark.
No.
Yeah. Matt
Matt Damon.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting the band back together there, Phil. Anyway, but it's the women that are taking control, and it's
As
going to be a
they
good
should.
movie. So why are we talking about Ocean's 12? Because we've got number 12 Ocean Street, Ormond, coming up for auction on 10:30 on
Gary,
Saturday.
this is in the McKinnon's high school zone, so we know how valuable that is, and this is what we all try to find, and it's always so elusive, is the perfect parcel of land. This is 506 square metres of land with a 21.58 metre frontage, which for those of you that have built before, the better the width the wider the width. That is the most important thing when finding a building site.
751 South Road, Philip. That's the first auction in Bentleigh East, and Peter Sinclair's doing the auction together with Jody, who's
Yes,
handling
and
it.
he's very lucky because this is a beautiful, beautiful property. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, and have a look at that property inside, Gary. It is schmick as.
11:30 on Saturday, Philip. Count them. 4 auctions at the same time. We're going to be in Grange Road in Ormond, Philip, and I'm going to do the auction there. I'm meeting up with Leon and looking forward to it.
Gary, you've got a lovely property to auction there. That's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 lock-up garage, and check out the parquetry floors, the gorgeous kitchen there. That is really a stunning property.
Philip, unfortunately, I won't be able to join you here. I'd like to be here at 11:30 because I know you're doing probably the finest property or auction, perhaps the finest property you've got this weekend, and maybe one of the finest auctions in Melbourne this weekend at the home that we're on, our property of the week. We are here at 28 Malvern Grove, a beautiful tree-lined avenue with a park over there, with Glenfrey Road over there. Take us through this magnificent
Well,
home.
you've stole my thunder a bit, Gary, because we are situated between the 2 of the premier attractions of this area. Caulfield Park is incredible, and that does become your back garden. Not that you need it here because you've got a big back garden.
Well, you've got a
You've
pool,
got
yeah.
Glenferrie Road, you've got High Street, you've got the Malvern train station. Literally walk out your front door, stroll up to those. But the street is incredible. It's long been regarded as one of the premier streets of this location, and it is just stunning. The renovation that's been done here here is incredible. Most beautiful bathrooms, all three of them. The main bedroom upstairs, Gary, is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen a main bedroom more impressive. But downstairs we've got two beautiful entertaining areas. The kitchen meals family room, where we are filming this episode, Gary, is magnificent. It just looks out over the back garden and the incredible swimming pool with the west and the northwest orientation, off-street car parking. The list goes on and on and on here, but there is not a cent to spend. Move straight in and love life here, Gary.
Love the brochure for this property too, Philip. A little bit of a storybook of the home, and certainly one of the best offerings of 2018 right here in Malvern Grove. At 11:30, be here. And if you can't be here or you're looking for something that's not in this price range, but perhaps more like an apartment, come on down to Murray Street, Caulfield, Philip. Benjamin Rothschild is offering this terrific apartment, and Jeremy Rosens is the auctioneer. Take us through it.
Gary, what a great property that is. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, undercover car parking and a storeroom. This is a super large apartment, Gary. Always hard to find those extra large apartments.
Leo Samuel might have his body positioned in Carnegie, Philip, but he's selling all over Melbourne, in St Kilda and in Middle Park and Hyatt and everywhere. And he loves Elsternwick. He's done plenty of business there. He's going to be in Parkside Street auctioning this terrific property. Looking forward to that one, Saturday, 11:30.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. That is an incredible property because it's been beautifully renovated. I mean, really buy that and just move straight in. You've got courtyard garden there, a lock-up garage. I don't think you'd need anything else when you own that property.
Well, as the old adage goes, Philip, if it's good in Hyatt, you better buy it, and we're going to be at the P&I Highway in Hyatt, Philip. I'm looking forward to meeting Jody for this terrific
you're
unit.
too funny.
This villa.
Gary, this is villa number 4, single story, beautifully renovated throughout, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms and a lock-up garage, deck and courtyard area. That really is a great property.
And we've had a great run in Hyatt, Phil. You know, this is the 3rd one we've sold in a very short period of time, or selling, and it's a really changed suburb. It's a great place to buy an investment with a suburb that's on the move, Phil, and we love selling there. Second auction at 12:30, Phillips, at 22 Turner Avenue, Glen. This is an incredible offering. Daniel Rees is excited about it, as you will be as auctioneer, and hopefully the buyers too.
As we all should be, Gary. Yeah. A great location, Turner Avenue. This is a stunning home, 4 or 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. That's just ready to move straight into and enjoy life.
And after our 12:30 auctions, Philip, we can sit back and watch all of the other great auctioneers do their thing, because that's our last auctions for Saturday. But at 1:30, Philip, we're going to be in Ellesmere Road in Windsor. Again, Leo Samuel, who sells everywhere, is selling this, and this is a great address and a great property.
1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, beautifully renovated throughout, and of course it's light and it's bright and it's positionally perfect.
Peter Sinclair's a busy boy, Philip, from our Bentleigh office, and together with Leon are going to be combining forces in Elsternwick in Glen Road for this terrific apartment at 242 Glen Road, Elsternwick.
Gary, we love the Glen Road vibe, and it's just getting better and better, particularly with the Coles rebuild there and Woolworths coming to town. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. You really could not find a more convenient location to live than Glen Road, Elsternwick.
In Queens Road, Melbourne at 1:30, Philip. We're looking forward to this terrific auction. Jeremy Rosens and Daniel Fisher brings this one to the market.
And it's a great property, this one, Gary, in that older style building that's got so much character. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car. Well, it's actually got a lock-up garage, which is a massive bonus. And that part of Queens Road, part of the Grand Prix action once a year, but walk to the tram and walk to the park. Just doesn't get any better than that.
It's a great spot. Philip, Sunday, that brings down the curtain to Saturday. Sunday, we've got 6 auctions. Just the one at 10:30 in Fosbery Avenue, a great address, and this was the former address, not that house, but who was living in Fosbery Avenue? There was Jed Lamb and Harry Mackay from the mighty Blue Boys, yet to win a game this year. That's another story, but they were living in Fosbery Avenue, and you know what?
Do you know, I'm surprised you brought up anything to do with Carlton.
Well,
because just correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. There's been 6 rounds or 7 rounds.
It's been 6 rounds.
6 rounds. And how many wins have Carlton got out of 6 rounds?
So let me just talk about the happy part of this story. When Jed Lamb, and because I met with Jed Lamb, he said, you know, I moved into this Fosbery Avenue. He said, I didn't know there were so many Carlton supporters. He said, it was such a friendly street. People were bringing us chicken soup and food. And you know, he said, I couldn't believe, he said, I don't want to move out of Caulfield.
That's probably why. Is he still playing?
Yeah, he is. I wasn't the first.
Probably why he's so ordinary now is because he just cannot move for all the schnitzel he's carrying. And probably the coach looked at him and said, what are you living in Caulfield or something?
Right. Anyway, Phillip, a friendly street is the message, not yours. Take us through this.
Gary, this is the most fantastic villa home, single level, so hard to find, one of only two, and this is the front one. And you wouldn't even know there was one behind it. And this is just, it's got the best floor plan. It's very large, very light, very bright. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. The central standout feature there, other than the position, is the fact that the entertaining areas are massive.
Sure, Phillip, double auction action at 11:30 on Sunday. We're going to be in Murrumbeena Road at 11:30. Jack Slater handles this home. Leor Samuel is the auctioneer.
Gary, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, parquetry floors throughout, a good-looking modern building and a great location.
Prahran Grove, Elsternwick, Phillip, great address again. You've got the auction honours. You're going to be meeting Daniel Fisher at this beautifully renovated villa unit in a prime location. 2
bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and lock-up garage and a courtyard garden, Gary. Prahran Grove is just the most convenient location.
We continue our Elsternwick buzz and groove, Phillip. This is our 4th auction of Elsternwick on the weekend. We've had 5, I think, last weekend. We are doing it in Elsternwick and loving it. And Phillip, we are going to be at 12 Hartington Street. From the local milk bar, I used to get cobbers 3 for 1 cent when I grew up there, Phillip. 12 Hartington Street, let's talk about those.
3 for 1 cent.
3 for
so
cent,
if you knocked off 10 cents from your mother's purse, which you did on a regular basis, you could have bought 30 cobbers.
No, you could have. I did. I did. Yeah, the coppers, the Redskins were 2 for a set. They're a bit more expensive, Phillip, but they were the days. 12 Hartington Street, the local milk bar.
Gary, what a great opportunity this is, because subject to council approval, it's got so many possibilities. 436 square metres of land right there on the corner. I mean, you'd buy this if you could, just for nostalgic purposes,
absolutely.
wouldn't you?
And it's attracted a lot of reason for just a lot of interest, I should say. Attracted a lot of interest just for that reason, Phil. But that's going to be an interesting auction. I know Adam, our Elsternwick specialist, very excited about that one. 5 Kent Grove, Phillip. That one goes up at 1:30 p.m. And what an incredible marvel this is, and what a great opportunity for a fantastic block of land.
Just under, well, Gary, I think there's going to be a lot of interest in the house here, because it's just under 800 square metres of land. So it's the most fantastic allotment on the west side of the street, but a really good solid home, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and undercover parking for 2 cars. That's a very, very livable home as it is.
We like
but
solid brick, don't we?
if you spend a bit of money there further updating that could be a seriously schmick renovation.
And Phillip, final auction, 2:30. We're going to be in Caulfield North in prestigious Tennyson Avenue, Phillip, a street that's very tightly held, very wide tree-lined avenue, Phillip, with some beautiful big homes. This is a magnificent property.
It is, Gary.
9A.
This is a builder's own property complete with a basement garage. Now that we've shown that there's parking for 2 cars there, but I personally think you can get in with 3 cars, particularly if you've got 2 smaller ones and a large one. But we're only saying 2 cars just in case. But that is
because the lawyers watch.
That is the most incredible property, Gary. Complete with a lift that takes you from the basement to the ground floor to the first floor. It's got everything that opens and shuts. The standard of accommodation there is brilliant. The luxury is extraordinary. The quality and the detail is fabulous. So I'm excited about that property.
And so you should be, Phillip. It is a rare offering and a great opportunity, and something special to cap off a weekend of very special homes. This is a weekend of some great properties, Phillip. A big spread of area and price range. And
something for everybody,
It really is. It's something for everyone. Every size will fit this weekend. So we look forward to this weekend. We look forward to bringing you all the news that's going on in the market.
The weather may be cooling down, but this property market just continues to move forward.
It sure does.
It's a great time to be buying. It's a great time to be selling. There's plenty of activity out there. So come along this weekend, have a coffee from one of our coffee vans, have a look at the auctions, and let's chat about real estate anytime.
We'll be back in front of you next week on GPTV. Thanks for watching. I'm Gary.
I'm Phillip Kingston. Have a fantastic week.